XRP is seeing massive outflows historically tied to rallies. Bitcoin is holding strength, the S&P 500 is making new highs, and behind the scenes, banks, governments, and institutions are quietly moving into position. But here's the real question. Is this the beginning of expansion or the calm before a major shift? This content is for informational and educational purposes only. Always do your own research before making investment decisions. Welcome back to Ledger Pulse, where we break down what's actually moving the crypto market. If you want signal over noise, make sure you're subscribed. Let's get into it. We're starting with the broader market, because right now, crypto is not moving in isolation. According to CoinMarketCap, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq just closed at record highs, making a fourth straight week of gains. This matters more than people realize. When equities are pushing higher, that signals liquidity is flowing, risk appetite is increasing, and capital is rotating into growth assets. Crypto thrives in this exact environment. So instead of fighting macro, crypto is currently aligned with it, and that's a key tailwind. Now this is where things get interesting. Data shared via Santiment shows XRP saw 34.94 million tokens in exchange outflows, one of the largest outflow days of the year. Historically, these events don't happen randomly. They typically signal investors moving assets off exchanges, reduced sell pressure, and positioning for potential upside. Because when coins leave exchanges, they're usually not being prepared for selling. They're being prepared for holding. And here's the key insight. These outflow spikes have often preceded bullish price action. Adoption is no longer theoretical. It's happening. SoFi is now adding XRP deposits alongside Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. This is a major shift because we're now seeing a U.S. chartered bank offering direct XRP exposure inside FDIC-insured environments. That's not retail hype. That's infrastructure. And once assets enter the banking system, they don't leave easily. Now this might be one of the most important developments in this entire episode. According to reporting highlighted by DailyCoin, XRP-powered transfers in Japan are completing in 4 seconds, compared to Swift's slower settlement system. Let's pause right there, because this isn't just speed. This is efficiency, cost reduction, and a direct challenge to legacy finance infrastructure. If this scales, it's not just bullish for XRP, it's disruptive to the entire global payment system. Now zooming out to global positioning, Ripple is involved in Project Bloom in Singapore, a controlled step towards stablecoin and tokenized asset integration. What stands out here is how it's happening. Not aggressively, not recklessly, but through sandbox environments, controlled testing, and institutional collaboration. This is how real adoption happens. Slow, deliberate, and then all of a sudden. Here we have a post from Jungle Inc. comparing performance since before the 2024 election. Now, the numbers alone don't tell the whole story, but they do reveal something important. Capital rotates. And right now, XRP has been one of the strongest performers in that rotation, which raises a bigger question. Is this just a temporary move or early positioning? Now we move into one of the most important macro drivers, regulation. According to CoinMarketCap, over 100 crypto firms, including Coinbase and Ripple, are urging U.S. lawmakers to advance the Clarity Act. Why? Because without a framework, innovation slows, capital leaves, and companies move offshore. At the same time, reporting from Eleanor Terrett highlights the crypto tax roundtable has finally happened after multiple delays, and this ties directly into the de minimis problem. Right now, even small crypto transactions can trigger taxable events, which makes everyday usage impractical. If that gets fixed, it unlocks real-world adoption at scale. So even with all this progress, there's still tension. Debates around stablecoin regulation, yield-bearing products, and federal oversight are still ongoing. And while some policymakers are pushing forward, others are pushing back. This creates uncertainty, but also opportunity, because markets move fastest when clarity arrives. Here's what ties all of this together. Ripple isn't just building tech, it's positioning itself across payments, stablecoins, regulatory frameworks, and global partnerships, from Japan to Singapore, from banks to governments. This isn't random expansion, it's coordinated. So what are we actually looking at right now? Macro is strong, liquidity is flowing, XRP is seeing accumulation signals, banks are integrating, and regulation is accelerating. This isn't one signal, it's a convergence. And when multiple signals like this align, markets don't stay quiet for long. If you made it this far, you already see what most people are missing. Subscribe if you want to stay ahead of these shifts, and let me know in the comments. Is this early expansion or a setup before the next major move? If you like this breakdown, hit the like button, and we'll see you in the next one.